Dana White just unleashed a bombshell update on two of the most jaw-dropping potential fights for 2025. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall and Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. White's buzzing with confidence that the Jones-Aspinall heavyweight title showdown is closer than ever, despite a saga that's felt like an eternity in the making. The holdup? None other than Jon Jones himself. Indecision, contract disputes, or just plain stalling, Jones has been the roadblock keeping everyone on edge. Aspinall, the interim champ, is locked and loaded. The fans are screaming for it. The UFC's ready to make it happen. But Jones, he's still playing hard to get, pushing the patience of the MMA world to its limits. Then there's Topuria versus Makhachev, a potential clash that's got fight fans salivating. Two dominant champions, each with a wildly different arsenal, barreling toward a career-defining showdown. Topuria's razor-sharp striking and slick grappling against Makhachev's suffocating wrestling and submission mastery. It's the kind of fight that could steal the year. But here's the twist. White's not as sold on this one as he is on Jones-Aspinall. Still, the plot thickens. Acclaimed Spanish journalist Alvaro Colmenero dropped a bombshell, claiming both Topuria and Makhachev have started their training camps. This is the same guy who's nailed leaks on Topuria's past fights and first spilled the beans on Ilia gunning for the undisputed lightweight belt. Curious, right? Is this fight quietly taking shape, or is it just another MMA rumor ready to fizzle? On Jones versus Aspinall, White didn't mince words about the chaos. This week was a circus. 1 minute the fight's done, date's set, the next it's off and Jones is out. Listen, it's all Ingushetia until we say it's real. He doubled down, saying the fight's still the target for both men. I've said it a million times, this is the fight we're making this year. When grilled on his earlier optimism, White stood firm. Still super confident. This isn't just another fight. It's the biggest heavyweight clash in UFC history, maybe all of combat sports. It's gonna be a game changer, and I'm hyped for it. As for Topuria versus Makhachev, White played it coy. Ilia versus Islam? We'll see what shakes out. His guarded vibe only fuels the intrigue. Are these two champs destined to throw down, or is it too good to be true? Stick around as we dive deeper into these epic matchups, break down the stakes, and unpack what's really going on behind the scenes in the wild world of the UFC. UFC 317. Headliner Khamzat versus DDP. Topuria takes center stage. Here's the deal. If Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall finally goes down, it won't be at International Fight Week for UFC 317. And forget about Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis headlining either. Dana White confirmed that fight's up next, just not for this massive event. That leaves one name shining bright. Ilia Topuria. The big question now is, who's he stepping into the octagon with? Islam Makhachev or Charles Oliveira? International Fight Week is the UFC's biggest stage, always packed with the most thrilling must-see matchups. Topuria versus Oliveira would be a certified banger, no question. But Topuria versus Makhachev? That's a champion versus champion clash that could carry the entire card on its own. A super fight that'd have fans on the edge of their seats. If Ilia ends up facing Charles, the UFC will likely stack the card to the rafters with star power. Think huge bouts like Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland 2, plus a lineup brimming with fighters guaranteed to deliver chaos. Chael Sonnen dropped his take on the UFC 317 buzz, stirring the pot. Dricus du Plessis, healthy, happy, and ready to go, isn't needed. From where we're sitting, it feels like they've got something locked in for International Fight Week, and that's the vibe, 'cause they're already set. So, what's the plan? What's the plan? Word is, Justin Gaethje is fighting Islam. That's what I'm hearing. Do I buy it? Honestly, it's hard to believe. Really hard to believe, but it involves Ali Abdelaziz, who's practically a wizard. Ali pulls off miracles like no other manager out there, so I'm not counting it out. As for Ilia, just yesterday, he was slated to fight International Fight Week for, and I quote, a title. That's a curious choice of words. A title or the title? With two belts in play, that's intriguing. How's that for a plot twist? Is Topuria gearing up to challenge Makhachev for the lightweight throne, or will Oliveira get the call for a shot at glory? Could Gaethje actually be in the mix, as Sonnen suggests, or is Ali working some backstage magic to flip the script? UFC 317 is shaping up to be an absolute firestorm. Michael Bisping previews Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. In a fiery YouTube video, Michael Bisping broke down the upcoming welterweight showdown between Kamaru Usman and Joaquin Buckley, tossing out a bold question. If Usman loses, could this be the end of the line for the former welterweight king? This fight is pure dynamite. Buckley's on a tear, riding a red-hot win streak with his biggest scalp being a one-sided thrashing of former interim champ Colby Covington. That momentum, paired with his explosive power and relentless style, has rocketed Buckley into the spotlight at 170 pounds. If he pulls off the upset against Usman, don't be shocked if he's catapulted straight into the title shot conversation. But let's not get it twisted. Beating Kamaru Usman is a tall order even now. The Nigerian Nightmare still brings elite wrestling, crushing clinch control, and the kind of championship pedigree you can't fake. Buckley will have to weather that storm and the grinding pace Usman sets. On the flip side, Buckley's blistering speed, raw power, and newfound confidence could spell trouble if he catches Usman off guard early. Bisping put it best. Physically, when you look at Joaquin Buckley, the man is a physical specimen, simple as that. Find me a better athlete. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's possible. He's so fast, he's got no problem going the distance, he has ridiculous power in his shots, he's got a good gas tank. The man's phenomenal. He's a great athlete, and he's coming into this one revved up. Bisping didn't hold back on Usman's credentials either. Anytime anyone fights Kamaru Usman, okay, you've got to bring your A game, especially when you look at what he did against Khamzat Chimaev. Yeah, all right, he got ragdolled in the first round, but rounds 2 and 3, he slowly worked his way back into the fight. As I say, I remember at the time I said that fight could have been a draw, okay? So there's no question that Kamaru Usman is still a threat to the very best people in this game. Here's the kicker. Bisping's got everyone thinking. Can Buckley's explosive surge overpower Usman's battle-tested grit? And if Usman falls to Buckley, does the Nightmare walk away from MMA for good? Curious, right? This clash is loaded with stakes, and the welterweight division is watching. Ilia Topuria clashes with Movsar Evloev. Movsar Evloev has finally broken his silence on the swirling rumors of a heated altercation with Ilia Topuria. For weeks, whispers of a clash between these two featherweight stars have been floating around, but nothing solid came to light. Until now. In a recent Russian interview with Sport24, Movsar, usually one of the most reserved and respectful fighters in the game, let it all out. When pressed about what really went down, he didn't hold back, blasting Topuria for his gimmicks and, quote, stupid actions. He's clearly fed up with what he sees as Ilia's fake antics and manufactured drama. This wasn't some diplomatic sidestep. Movsar laid it bare, making it crystal clear he's had enough of Topuria's behavior. And this isn't just talk. Movsar's been vocal before about doing whatever it takes to get his hands on Topuria, even if it means chasing him to the lightweight division. Whether Ilia wins or loses against Islam Makhachev, Movsar's mission feels personal. He's gunning for Topuria in what could be an explosive Georgia versus Ingushetia showdown. How's that for a grudge match? Can Movsar's grappling heavy style with that relentless wrestling pose a real threat to the Georgian phenom's slick striking and submission game? On the topic of their past run-ins, Movsar opened up about the bad blood. He ran his mouth and said things he shouldn't have. Honestly, I don't think he did it because he dislikes me or something. It's because he's not the brightest. You know, he's very stupid. When you're at this level with millions watching you perform live and you're one of the best fighters on the planet, you shouldn't be acting like this. I believe every fighter deserves respect, but some people, like him, like to stir up drama for hype or whatever reason. Honestly, I'm not taking his actions to heart. Have you noticed this guy talks trash to every fighter out there? He stirs up drama left and right. I will meet him inside the octagon one day, and then I'll make him pay for his actions. Would Movsar consider shaking Topuria's hand? Only if he offers his hand first. He's the one who disrespected me, so it's on him to make the first move. Talk about setting the stage. This feud is heating up and the MMA world is buzzing. Is Topuria's brash persona just a ploy for attention, or is he backing it up with his skills? And can Evloev's disciplined approach shut down Ilia's chaos? Stay locked in as we unpack this rivalry, dive into the stakes, and get you pumped for what's next in this sizzling showdown.